Hi, and welcome to my YouTube channel, Everyday English with Amanda. Today's lesson is a review of lesson 1 and lesson 2 of the grammar, which was simple present tense. I do hope that you watched the first two videos and now you'll be able to do these exercises on your own. So, ready? Let's start. Let's read the paragraph together and choose the correct verb. So I want you to have a pen and notepad ready. So I want you to guess the answer before I give you the right answer. And remember, this is a review of what we studied in lesson 1 and lesson 2. So let's start. Nurses work or works in a hospital? What do you think the answer is? Nurses, it's plural. It's they. What do you think the answer is? I hope you guessed it right. So nurses work in a hospital. They look after, looks after, or looking after. What do you think the right answer is? They look after. Remember, we are using simple present tense because we are describing what they're doing. Okay? So the work. They look after patients. A nurse sometimes, one nurse. So what do you think the answer will be? Help, helping, or helps. A doctor during surgery. Surgery means operation. So what do you think the answer is? A nurse sometimes helps. Yes, because we are talking about one nurse. I do hope you get it right. Like I said, this is a review of what we studied in lesson 1 and lesson 2. You should be able to guess the answer on your own. Okay, let's do one more. Some nurses assist in medical centers. Nurses, it is plural again. So what would be the verb? Guessed right? Assist. They help. In medical center. Medical centers where you go and see a doctor. And some medical centers have more than one doctor. My friend who's a nurse works working in a nursing home helping older people. So one nurse, remember, so is a she. What would be the answer? Works. I do hope you guessed it right. If you did guess it right, that means you are on the right track to understand when to use simple present tense. Okay, now questions. What would be the right verb to use in these questions? What does this word mean? This is one of the common questions that you guys should learn if you want to ask the meaning of a certain word. So, one word. What does this word mean? What do you think the answer is? Okay, let's look at the answer. What does this word mean? Yes, does because it. Excellent. Oops, I gave you the answer for the next one. Where do you come from? Because we know with you, we have to use do. What you do? It's also on the you. So what the answer would be? So the answer would be, what do you do? What's your job? This is another way of saying what's your job? What's your occupation? What's your job? What do you do? How often, space, you, space, to the dentist? So I want to know how many times do you go to the dentist? So how often, because it's a you, we know it's do. Right? So how often do you go to the dentist? How often do you go to the dentist? How often do you do a checkup? How often do you catch the bus? So all of these questions use simple present. remember, if you want to learn how to use this, always try to use the same question, just change what are you trying to ask. Okay? How often do you go to the doctor? How often do you have a shower? How often do you go to work? Okay? So just remember this structure. Okay. Now, let's complete the sentence using one of the following verbs. Cause, close, drink, live, open, speak. Okay, so I'm gonna give you a few seconds to think about the answer and then I'll give you the answer. And finger crossed, you get it right this time. So Anne, Arabic very well. What would be the correct verb? I'm guessing speak. But Anne is a she, so we definitely have to use an S. So the answer would be Anne speaks Arabic very well. Speaks. Okay. I never, T. So which verb would we use? Drink. Because it's I, we don't need S. So I never drink tea. Yeah, I never drink tea. The swimming pool at 9 o'clock and at 18:30 every day. So there are two verbs. We know it has to be with open and close. It's the hours they operate. So the swimming pool, because if it's swimming pool, it's 1. Do we use S? Of course we do. So the swimming pool opens at 9 o'clock and closes at 8:30 every day. Okay. The same verbs with more sentences. Bad driving, many accidents. So the reasons of accidents is bad driving. So bad driving, what would be the verb that we use? Okay, I'll give you an idea. So bad driving, cause, it's the reason, many accident. But do we use S or no S? So bad driving causes many accidents. We definitely need to use S here. My parents in a small flat. We all agree, yes, it's live. So my parents live in a very small flat. And we used live because your parents are 2 people, right? They're not 1. So it is plural, my parents. So far, we know how to use simple present tense, when to put S and when we don't need S for the verb. Third personal singular, we need S. He, she, it. Okay, well, it's one unit, it's singular. And we don't need S if we're using I, you, they, and we. Moving on to do more exercises, and I do hope you're writing the answers down and trying to guess before I give it to you. Let's put the verb in the correct form. Jane, tea very often. Not drink, so we're on the negative. And Jane, we know, is a she. So Jane doesn't drink tea very often. So when we have the verb drink, we need a helping verb. Either do or does. But because Jane is a she, we know it's does. Good. What time the banks close in Australia? Banks, it's plural. Close needs a helping verb. So what time do the banks close in Australia? Banks, because it's plural. So we use do. Where Jane come from? So Jane is a she. Okay, and come needs help. So which verb do you think it needs? Do or does? I hope you guessed that right. Where does Jane come from? Where does Jane come from? It me 40 minutes to get to work. This is how long. And this is a routine. Every day I go to work and every day it takes me that long. I basically gave you the answer. It takes me 40 minutes to get to work. How long it take for you? it. What verb do we need? What helping verb? How long does it take for you to get to work? Okay, a little bit more practice. Believe, eat, flow, go, grow, make, rise, tell and translate. The earth round the sun. The earth goes around the sun. Rise, not in Australia, so it's negative. We know that you need, with the word rise, it's something to do with grow. So rise doesn't grow in Australia. The sun in the east. The sun rises in the east because it. Bees is plural. Bees, what do they do with honey? They make honey because it is plural. Vegetarians, meat. Vegetarians are people who don't eat meat, yes? So vegetarians don't eat meat. Negative. And because it's plural, we use do. An interpreter from one language to another. An interpreter, one person. What does an interpreter do? Translates from one language to another. A liar was somebody who, do you think, tells the truth or doesn't tell the truth? Doesn't tell the truth. The Amazon River into the Atlantic Ocean. It's one river. Flows into the Atlantic Ocean. Okay. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. And like I said, today's lesson is just a review of what we did in lesson 1 and lesson 2 for simple present tense. Until next time, please click on like and write any comments on any lesson you would like me to do. Thank you.